Hello and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, nice to meet you. My name is Reija and I'm a huge makeup addict and especially eyeshadow and especially colorful eyeshadow, but I do like neutrals too. I'm sorry, it's hot. So, as you saw from the title, we are doing palette mini reviews today. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 palettes that I have been testing, and now I will tell you my thoughts about them. This look I did not film. I didn't sleep last night at all again. Another sleepless night, so I did this makeup look. I used the Gourmand Girls that time of year palette. I possibly have to like a short tutorial video. I did film like little bits of everything that I did, but we'll see if I have edited it and put it on. But yeah, that's all for the look today. So we're starting with then NOMAD Cosmetics. NOMAD Cosmetics is an location-based brand. They have been visited every place that they do the palette from. They are cruelty-free and vegan. So, and it's an US indie brand. So first I have the Love and Death Verona Amore de Monte or Morte, Amore de Morte palette from them. So let me just get it out. I'm saving the sleeves or these boxes from NOMAD because behind here you have a text of the inspiration of the palette. So it's not hard to guess what's the inspiration of Love and Death palette. That is from Verona. Romeo and Juliet, of course. And this is what the palette looks like. I had some problems with few shades in this palette that were, let me just, this is a bit harder. With this shade, if I remember right, and this shade, and probably this shade, I had problems that they were a bit hard pressed, so I had to work hard to get them to my brush, but I did get them to work at the end. But NOMAD has refunded or sent new palettes of to the people that have had this problem, and because I got them to work, I didn't want another same palette, so I took the Whistler Snow Lodge palette, which I'm going to review also today, so I will talk about it later. But this is such a nice palette, like the warm side, the cool side. I'm just looking at my notes in here. So this was $47, which is about 43 euros. And the mattes are really nice in this palette, like NOMAD usually has very nice mattes. And I really like that it goes from very dark to very light. And the shimmers, like there's a few different formulas in these shimmers. There's more like a metallic-y one, and then there's more like a traditional shimmer. Like this one is more like a traditional shimmer to me, and then this is more like a metallic, and this is duochrome. Because you know, I see it as an kind of goldish bronzy, and when I show this to you, it's pink. But yeah, I really like this palette, and it was very nice to work with. They're easy to blend. The shadows are easy to blend. I normally work from from darkest to lightest, so I don't know like very well how do they build up on each other. That's I've been trying to now and forward now do at least one look that I do from lighter to dark shades, so I can talk about that buildability too, because I don't know how well these build on each other. They blend easily, but yeah, there's mattes are very buttery and like soft and beautiful palette. And I talked about that palette like 5 minutes. That's just me talking about makeup. Okay, so then I have the Whistler Snow Lodge palette from NOMAD Cosmetics, and this is pretty much the same story. This is actually probably my favorite palette from NOMAD Cosmetics at the moment. I know this is an older palette, but it's just so beautiful. I love this. I love the shimmers in here. Especially this one is really beautiful, and I like that it has a couple neutrals, so you could do a neutral look too with this palette if you like. There's like, I love blues, you know I love blues, and then there's like, it's very nice that it has like this shade, like a bit different shade, like I don't know, someone would say that it doesn't belong in this palette, that what does it do in here, but I really like palettes that have some like weird shade for the color story in them. And then this gold shimmer is beautiful, the green shimmer, I mean, and this is same story as the Verona palette, except this one the shimmers aren't hard pressed. So these shimmers are really beautiful and very nice to work with, and they pick up easily. Go back. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that I have to keep the fan on again. I'm filming this around after 6 AM and it's already so hot that I'm melting. Yes, I have lost one gem. Anyway, and then the last NOMAD palette in this is the Monteverde Cloud Forest palette. Oh, I forgot to say, this one actually is, she told me when I told her what palette I would like to have, she told me that this is going to get discontinued. I'm not sure is it still on stock or is it now, but it cost $39, which is about 36 euros. Ooh, don't do that. Okay, now the Monteverde Cloud Forest, mine is a bit suffered. I heard many people say that this is one of their favorite palettes from NOMAD. If it comes out, I should have took these out before I started filming. So this is a bit bigger palette from NOMAD, and this was $44 or 40 euros about. And all the NOMAD palettes are cruelty free and vegan, at least these are. This is like very nice, like jungle look, like it has a lot of greens and then there's a pop of colors like birds and flowers and such, you know, that because many people think that rainforests are very colorful, and yes they are, but mostly it is green, and then there's a pop of colors in here. So this palette is not my favorite, one of my favorite palettes from NOMAD, just because of the color story. It's not my favorite, but the formula is very beautiful and the mattes and the shimmers are all again very nice and they work very well. I don't know about the NOMAD palettes. I think they could be like easy for the beginners too, because they blend quite easily. And they don't give a lot of fallout, at least for me. I don't get a lot of fallout from them. So yeah, it's a really nice palette, and if you like this color story then I highly recommend it to you. For me, just the color story isn't the one that is my favorite because I love blue, in case you didn't know. Okay, sorry about that. That was my boyfriend calling. I had to answer him. So I was starting to talk about the Little Cosmetics palettes. So I have two Little Cosmetics palette. Little is German indie brand. I think they are selling at Camera Ready in USA too, but I don't know do they get everything as such. But they are cruelty free and vegan also. So both of the palettes that I have cost 54 euros. So first of all I have the Wildflower palette. I'm saving the sleeves for Little Cosmetics because these are depotable. They have the holes behind and they don't have the names in the palette. They are in the sleeve in the back side, so that's why I'm saving the sleeves on this. I did before cut them out and glue them on, but I decided not to do that anymore. So this palette, very beautiful. I love this color story. I love that it has the very dark and very light. It has beautiful shimmers. This is just such a beautiful palette. The shades are very easy to blend. They are mattes are a bit powdery, which is normal for Little, and many times when they have kick up in the pan or fall out, it means it has a lot of pigment. So these are very nicely pigmented shadows too. And yeah, I just the shimmers, they are easy to pick up. There's I think there's, let me see, actually I'm trying to look because I think this has some duochromes in it, but I'm not 100% sure. I think this is duochrome. So you see it, I think, more like a gold, and I see it purple, and maybe this one, I don't know, but it's a beautiful palette. It's like continuation of the Night Flower palette that came last year. So yeah, beautiful palette. Highly recommend this if you like the color story. Little Cosmetics is a bit more expensive brand, but I do think it's worth the price. And then I have the Evergreen palette, and same story with this one. It's a beautiful palette. It's depotable also, and dirty, it seems. It's not my favorite color story from Little, just because green is not my favorite color, as you probably know. I think this shade and this shade are a bit too close to each other. Let me swatch them to you so you can see that they are very close. Like, the other one has a bit like a greeny tint to it, maybe, and the other one is a bit more like purple, but they are very close to each other. So I don't think they both need to be in this palette. And same with these greens. I know that the other one is more tealy green, the other one is more crunchy green, but they are very close to each other, so I don't see why they both have to be in this palette. I love this yellow pop in here and the purple. So yeah, but like, if you like the color story, then yeah, go for it, but just know that there's few shades that are very close to each other, and maybe they don't need to be in the same palette. Then I have Catrice, the Jungle Book Mother Nature's Recipes eyeshadow palette. Oh, by the way, I have videos of all of these palettes, so when I link this to the description box, I will link the corresponding videos also. So yeah, this is the Catrice palette that I also did video on. testing some Catrice and Essence stuff that were both Disney collabs. So this one is about 15 euros, depends on where you buy it. I don't remember what I pay for it. I bought it from the supermarket, but like, it's a nice palette for the price. Like you can get very beautiful neutral looks or beautiful like a greeny look with this, and the shadows work like shadows should work, but they're not like my favorite formula. But I do think they are quite easy to work with. They are not like the most pigmented eyeshadows that I have ever tried, which makes them a little more easier for beginners to use, for example. But this palette did surprise me. It is better than I expected, but I don't think this dark shade is it's not so pigmented, so it's not very dark in the eye. But yeah, this was like it's a nice palette, but nothing revolutionary. And then I have the ODEN'S. Catrice is German also, and they are cruelty free but not vegan. Then I don't know about this ODEN'S eye, because when I checked the pages, it said that they are cruelty free and powder products are vegan, and the other ones maybe aren't. I'm not 100% sure, because I thought that they were cruelty free and vegan, but yeah. So this is the what collection was this? I can't remember, I'm sorry, and I can't check it because I'm filming with my phone. But yeah, it's a 3 palettes collab with 3 influencers. First of all, I have the Sea Talk palette from Nobe Beauty. I think it was Lauren May. Anyway, this is my favorite palette of these 3. I really enjoyed using it. This shade is a satin shade, which is perfect inner corner shade. I love it. The shimmers, there's different textures in here. Like I said, this is more satiny, then there's more like flaky shades, and then there's more like metallic shades. And this is just such a beautiful palette, and ODEN'S eye formula is my favorite, one of my favorites, maybe even favorite formula of this. And I really like this palette that it has the neutral options if you want to do a neutral look, but there's also a colorful shadows in here. And yeah, this palette, I really enjoyed working with it. And yeah, the shimmers, they are easy to pick up, they're not hard pressed or anything, and they just work very well. I have nothing bad to say about this. And then I have the makeup, ODEN'S eye and makeup just for one. Amanda, I think is her name, and this is the Flora Story palette. Oh, I forgot to say, all of these palettes are $33.90. Last time I checked, few times ago, they were all still in stock. And yesterday I checked the bundle of this all was down from 102 euros to 92 euros, so 10 euros cheaper than normally. But yeah, this is the Flora Story palette. I really enjoyed this one too. It's more like a muted color story with greens and purples. Like, I would say that this is a neutral palette for colorful color lovers and colorful palette for neutral lovers. And this is like a topper shade, which is multichrome, very beautiful. It also has a bit like, this is more like a flaky shade, and then it has more smooth shades, and these they just work so well. Like, Same story as the Sea Talk palette. And this is my second favorite from this. And then the last one is the Betty G one Planet Spirit palette. Oh yeah, and the artwork of this palette is amazing. So this is what she looks like. This is very colorful, very bright palette. This also has this multi-chrome topper shade. This is the color story is a bit hard. Was a bit hard for me to get a look together because I feel like these are all very mid-tone shades, so I don't have something to blend with. I don't have dark shade to get some contrast, and I don't have light shades to blend with. But I do like that every shade has like a shimmer with them. But yeah, this was hard color story for me to get looks out of it. I did get beautiful looks, don't get me wrong, but for me this is not a standalone palette. I did all the looks with this without, if I remember right, without any other palettes, but it's hard to get looks out of it if you want to do something more than just use shimmer and use the corresponding matte with it to, you know, like 2-shade looks is easy with this palette. But if you want something more complicated and such, then it's not a standalone palette. And then lastly I have the E.L.F Nude Rose Gold palette. E.L.F is also vegan and cruelty free, and they are also US brand. I forgot to say that ODEN'S is Swedish brands, but they do ship from was it Hong Kong or somewhere from Asia, because where they ship is best flight connections to all around the world. From Sweden it's not so easy to ship everything. So yeah, but this is the E.L.F palette. Like I said, it's vegan and cruelty free. This was 11 euros, and this also surprised me. I wasn't expecting much. I have tested E.L.F eyeshadows before and they haven't been my favorite. No, they're still not my favorite, but I do get very nice looks out of this palette. It's the shimmer, especially this shimmer and this shimmer are such a beautiful shades. And this one is a matte that has glitter in it, like little glitter bits of shimmer, what you want to, same as the Colourpop shadows that are matte but have shimmer in it. But you can use this if you blend it a bit, the glitter particles go away, so you have very dark matte in here. And yeah, I was very surprised of this palette. Like, the shimmers aren't like very what's the word, well, there aren't any extras. There's very traditional shimmers, but I would think this would be like very nice palette for work if you can't do very colorful looks to work, or it's not recommended, then this would be a very nice palette for work. And it's affordable too, and yeah, I wasn't expecting much, but it was really nice palette. So yeah, it's, where did I put the remote? Why do I lose everything? I think I dropped it on the floor. Okay, but yeah, this is all today. And if you, I'm sorry, I haven't slept last night at all. But yeah, so that was all today, all the palettes that I have tested recently. And and it's very interesting that the two kind of more neutral palettes from affordable brands such as Catrice and E.L.F. really surprised me, and I actually enjoyed using them. So yeah, it's nice variety, and they are affordable. You know, most of the times I don't buy eyeshadows from mainstream brands. As you saw, most of these palettes were indie brands, because indie brands just are at the moment. They are so good, and the special shimmer shades are amazing. I feel like in the mainstream brands, like the shimmers are more traditional and not anything special. But yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you of every new upload. And we will see you hopefully very soon. Bye!